Welcome back to NFL Live. If you're wondering what can result from the kickoff rule change the NFL will adopt for next season, here's an example where the new rule was implemented in the XFL. The kickoff return for a touchdown there, and a reminder of what this new rule will look like. Here's all the details. The ball will still be kicked from the 35, but now the rest of the kicking team must line up at the opposing 40. The receiving team must have at least 9 players lined up in the setup zone, located between their own 30 and 35. They can then have up to 2 returners set up in the landing zone, which is located between the goal line and their own 20-yard line. I hope you're visualizing a football field in your head. That's what I'm doing. The kicker and returners are the only players allowed to move before the ball hits the ground or is touched by a returner in the landing zone. Safety was a big deal there, but there's also a lot more to this. We are now joined by Cowboys special teams coach John Fassel. John, you were one of the biggest voices in favor of the new kickoff rule. What was the thought process behind wanting to make such a drastic change to kickoffs?
Yeah, thanks for having me, by the way. It really started probably in 2021 after the first XFL season. They had a modified season, and they put in this concept that I thought was pretty fascinating. Because what it does, it just puts everybody on kickoff and kickoff return at the spot where when the ball is caught, this is where we are. So you can see the tape right here. As soon as the ball is caught, everybody goes. And this looks like an NFL play once the ball gets caught. It's just a little bit unique at the start because everybody's basically starting off sides. But, you know, last year we talked about doing this. And then after this past season with the touchback rate where it was, we just said we have to go to a play that puts the ball in play more often, but it's also safer. And I think we accomplished both tasks, making it a better play and a safer play. And I'm fired up to see what it looks like and where it goes.
Me too. I mean, just the concept alone gets you excited. What changes are you expecting specifically for this to bring to games?
I mean, the ball is going to be in play. The kickoff returner is going to be a significant part of the game. Yeah. I think you're going to have a lot of unpredictable drive starts. The value of the core special teamer goes way up. And nobody's allowed to go to the bathroom or to the concession stand during a kickoff anymore because this is a football play you got to see. So that's a huge part of it. It's going to be a great thing. I'm excited for the fans. I'm excited for our players, and for all special teams coaches. You know, we got some work to do because this is different.
Yeah. Right. I mean, to that point, this has got to change the way you think when it comes to off-season additions or at this time, even how teams are going to go into the draft. What about that? Do you need, John, to make sure you have a good returner more than ever now?
Yeah, I think that was one of the big reasons why we wanted to vote this in at the owners' meetings last week is because people wanted time to build their roster. Now it's not building the whole roster, but it might be building, you know, roster spot 48 to 53. And, you know, if you don't have a returner you feel good with, you got to get one now because the ball is going to be in play. You know, we're anticipating at least 50 to 60% of the time, you know, and who's your core guys that are covering and blocking on these kicks? You know, there has to be an added value to the Matthew Slaters, the Jalen Reeves-Mabins, you know, our CJ Goodwin. I think the value of those special teams guys goes up, and it's good for business for the special teams part. And it's going to be a really cool play. It's a great concept. It's going to be unique. It's going to be unpredictable the first couple of weeks, and I think it'll be cool for everybody to tune in and see how it goes.
You know, we can't have a member of the Cowboys coaching staff on this show without bringing in the big swagoo, Marcus Spears. I'll pass it over to you, Swag. You got a question for John?
What's up, Coach?
What's up, Marcus?
Yeah, I have more now. What's up, Coach? Good to see you, man. I have more now listening to him talk about this this new return. John, the first question, special teams wise, because you know I'm a grumpy defender. Is it anybody at a disadvantage? Because I played special teams. We all had to do it when we were rookies. And we were able to create free hitters by crossers. We were able to create that stuff. How much of that was discussed when you start talking about does this create a significant advantage either for the return team or the defenders?
Yeah, Marcus, that's a great question. First of all, I think you would belong on kickoff team in this new setup, Marcus. Because you don't got to run, man. All you do is, I mean, you're right there, so let's get back to it from 5 yards away. So I'm putting you on kickoff at the R5 spot. But I think,
yes, sir.
You know, we had 591 plays of XFL videotape to dissect and evaluate. And the biggest thing was what were the unintended consequences that maybe they couldn't predict that we were able to dissect on film. And with our hybrid part of it, let's put something together that kind of takes away maybe some disadvantages or, you know, special advantages or things that didn't look really good about the play. And so, in my opinion, just going through these plays over and over again, I think it's going to be a challenge covering kicks. You know, I think there's a little bit of a weighted towards the kickoff return with having a setup zone, which we have, which the XFL didn't. You know, we can go 2 returner look, and the XFL could only go 1 returner look. So the creativity by the kickoff return team was going to be a big thing. And I really feel like there's a big challenge for covering kickoffs. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. It's going to be great. And the kickoff guys, the boys got to step up, man.
That's what I was interested to hear. My last one, Coach. So you get Mike back, obviously, Coach McCarthy, and you get Dak back. And this season, obviously, people have had all of the talk about free agency, moves not made, moves that are made. What is the tone and temperature in the building, and how do you feel about going into the season with a lot of guys that y'all are very familiar with? What's the feel around the Star right now?
Man, I mean, if you're in the huddle with us right now, I think you feel pretty good. And I know whatever's out there is out there, but we got some great young players, like Coach McCarthy said, in the bullpen that some people don't know about. I think there's a little bit of a hunger to get back not only to where we were, but to get to another level. And I just think we have some guys that maybe nobody really knows about yet that they're going to find out about, and the opportunities are there for some of these young guys. So the temperature and the tone, I think, is fantastic. I mean, myself, O coordinators, D staff, like we're in the dungeon and we're grinding it out. And I'm excited.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a dungeon down there, Coach. It just looks like a good place to come up with some good football down there. We love it. Special teams coordinator for the Cowboys, John Fassel, joining us on NFL Live. We appreciate you, Coach, and really cannot wait to see.
One of the best in the business.
Yeah, how this kickoff rule changes the game. I think it's going to be big, and kudos to you for pushing this forward.